This is Groove Talk with Froggy Style.
Welcome to another episode of Groove Talk, everybody. On this episode, I am joined by Ben, and they are both part of the YYC Basement Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
That's right. Thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah, of course. I guess just to start off, why don't you guys kind of give a little bit of background information about yourselves and the project?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Ben?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm a magician by trade, so not a huge music person. I don't play any instruments. So when
Well, you play a bit of drum.
you taught me like two things. I can do a beat and a fill. That's it.
Pat Boone, Debbie Boone.
Yeah, Pat Boone, Debbie Boone. So last year in September, I was moving out of my current apartment. My friend Shelby, Ben's girlfriend, was coming back from a cruise ship gig, and they're like, well, we have a room, or we could find a place with an extra room, and you could move in with us. And I was like, that sounds good. So I met Ben through that outlet, and then he was looking for, people to meet in the music scene. Obviously, he's a drummer, as he'll tell you, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where this all started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm actually a piano player. And
I know nothing about it.
I'm a drummer. Yeah, I'm from Glasgow, in Scotland.
Really?
Yeah, I've been in Canada for just over a year and 3 months now. So still
all of it in lockdown.
Yeah, honest, I'm not joking. 90% of it's been in lockdown, and I still love this place. It's weird. So I met Shelby, my girlfriend, on cruise ships. We're both working together as musicians on a cruise ship. She was a singer, I was a drummer, and then she convinced me to come out to Calgary. Yeah, and
you know Shelby. It's just whatever she wants, she gets.
Yeah,
so she's like,
much.
You're moving to Canada now. And
yeah.
You're like,
Okay, sure. I'll do that. No worries. Yeah.
I guess so.
You're shaving your head today. Okay.
Yep, here we go.
No problem. I love you. So I came out to Calgary and just started working and just trying to get into the music scene, and we have a big basement in our place, and I was telling other Ben that we should have bands in our basement, like host bands and stuff.
At first, you were like, my friend's got a big apartment back home, and he has people that tour, and they just sleep on his couch. We should do that. And everyone else in the house was like, no, I don't think so.
But that was his way of like we got into some awesome tours because of that, because people would come and stay at his place, and you go, oh yeah, this is my band, check us out. God, this band's fantastic. Like, just come on our next tour type thing, So we made a lot of contacts through that, but they weren't fancying the idea of people sleeping in our basement.
Just take them out for a drink or something.
Yeah,
isn't that just as good?
So we decided to host bands and artists in our basement. But then of course COVID hit, so we did online podcasts, just via like Facebook, Zoom, type thing, and we interviewed artists, and then they played a song, and then since the regulations are loosening, we actually had people in our basement, but it was like 2 people max.
We did social distance,
and
we did small groups, and it was really good.
Yeah,
got some cool sounds out of that experiment.
We did, and we're releasing a new artist every week.
Yeah.
Up until Christmas. Yeah, so we have some Christmas.
Isn't
specials.
the week of Christmas there's an artist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, we're actually releasing a...
Is it?
Yeah. I did the math.
Feel bad for that artist. No one's going to listen to it.
So that's our season 2, and we're just in the midst of organising season 3 for next year. So, a lot on the horizon for sure.
Cool. So how many episodes per season and stuff like that?
Season 1 was 20. We did 20 interviews. This season there is probably about the same, maybe slightly more.
We started with 16, but then we added to that because people were like, well, you should have them on. We're like, well, we're pretty booked up. Like when we were recording them, because they've all been recorded at this point, we had like one every Monday or Sunday, Monday, and then we started to add if we could on a Tuesday just to like squeeze other people in.
Yeah.
So it grew, but I think we started with 16.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it grew from there. I don't know by how many.
It was really tough though, like especially because you were working pretty much full time.
Yeah.
And there was a few sessions where, Ben was filming and then he'd go, I need to go.
I gotta go.
So we'd get Shelby from upstairs, who was taking care of the dogs, to come down and film. And she did a good job.
She did a great job.
So
I never used any of that footage.
yeah, just chucked it in the bin. Don't tell her that.
You're helping.
And so it was tough to schedule in everyone. As Ben said, we had people coming in on Tuesdays, some people coming in on, I think we had one on Thursday, I can't remember, on a Saturday maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, no, definitely not Saturday because you were working all day.
Yeah, it would have been Sunday. I got a full-time job with Pedal Pub. I worked for them last year just as like a entertainer on the bike, and then this year obviously I wasn't doing a tour or any shows, so my boss from last year was like, "You're probably not working. Do you want full-time work?" I was like, "Yes." So I worked pretty much full-time, and every like Thursday, Friday, Saturday was full up. So we did Sunday, Monday, a couple of Tuesdays, and then like found spots in there where we were both available, and the artist was available.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But I tell you what though, like I don't think I couldn't do it without other Ben. I'll tell you, because like he's helped a lot, especially with his like filming techniques and stuff, and just organising everything, and it would be tough if I was doing it myself. I don't think it would be the same. So, yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it without other bands.
He has so much better things to do.
If that's not true, I don't know how to do anything musical. I'm not a music person, so there's skills on both ends that neither, like, I don't have the music editing skills. He doesn't have. Well, he's got music editing skills, none other.
Yeah.
And he can kind of play the drums.
Yeah, but in the podcast side as well, I really struggle because before we did this, I've never been on a podcast in my puff, and you've done a few podcasts.
Yeah.
So it was a learning curve for sure, like being able to just talk to people.
I also hire myself out as a host, so I know how to talk to people or make a situation engaging for other people, usually crowds, not mostly one-on-one, but you're getting better at it.
Well, right,
you're doing fine now.
Not too bad,
But seriously, by the end of this season, it was because usually he would ask a question and it would just be like a really curt question, and then he'd stop talking and they would be sitting there. So I'd open it up and like try to elaborate on it more. But by the end of this season, I was just sitting there quiet. I was just like, well, he's got this. He's got all the questions. He knows what he's doing. I'll just sit here and shut up. Toss in something funny here and there if I needed to.
If you watch our very first podcast, oh god, it's just terrible. We're both like, hello.
Okay, here we go.
What's your writing process? And then just like, great, next question.
I think honestly the first episodes of this podcast are the exact same. So, writing process, how'd you get together, like what's playing live shows like?
Exactly.
Yeah. You can also tell, like, because there was some people on season 2 that we had on season 1 that we just, they played music for us. We really liked them, so we had them back. Not that we didn't like everyone from season 1. We just like these people better. I'm the kind of person that says that. Ben would never.
No, that's not. We liked everyone, right? But we
like some people better.
Well, no, of course. But like the people that we had back in season 1, we just we had a wee bit more rapport with, and we liked their music, of course, and we kept in contact after we finished our episode, with them, So we were looking for people, and they were our first port of call, really, So
you can tell though that like our comfortability with people has gotten better, because with those people who came back, we couldn't ask those same questions, so it was more of a catch up, more of a conversation. It was more natural. They're good episodes. Not that the other ones aren't good episodes, but these are different good.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Because, but when I first started doing this, it felt very much like an interview. Mm-hmm. And as I progressed and I talked to more people, and I came out of my own comfort zone because I was a very socially awkward person. I had trouble communicating with individuals, but as the podcast progressed, it turned into more of a conversation between all involved instead of just an interview, which is like where I wanted it to be.
Right.
Definitely. It's a lot more. We found it's a lot more natural sort of feeling, you know, like I would write out their bios and then I'd have like a couple of talking points really, but sometimes we didn't even talk about those talking points. We'd just be chatting. You know?
I'll be honest, I never looked at them.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
honestly, sometimes we didn't even look at them. You know, we spoke to Michaela Sheedy about, you know, Disney. You know, we had no idea.
She loved Disney.
Yeah, she loved Disney, you know, and, you know, we spoke to Mitch Bello and his fiancée about, you know, about their engagement and stuff and their plans, you know, and that wasn't on our list, really, you know, so we just felt it was just a more...
Talk about Disney.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I just felt it was a more natural sort of process, you know, and, you know, and it worked. People really enjoyed it, you know, and, you know...
You hope.
I hope, yeah. Fingers crossed. They've given us a good review.
Yeah, no, and I feel like the conversation can go into those places if you don't have those talking points. You know, I did the same thing. I would write out some questions to make sure to ask, but I found that as I was paying attention to those questions, being like, oh, did we already talk about it? It was taking me out of the conversation, you know?
Yeah. Because you're worrying about, oh man, I had this point. We need to get to that one. They don't know you had that point.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And like the people listening don't really, like, they just want an interesting conversation.
I bet he had
right?
5 talking points that he only got to 4.
I'm not listening to this podcast ever again. I'm going to go to Joe Rogan
0
instead.
stars.
So what made you guys like want to add the kind of the video element to it?
That was kind of always the plan.
Yeah.
We had planned to set up our basement. Like Ben said, we have a big basement, and we planned to set up and film these kind of, you know, acoustic sessions. So that was always the idea.
Okay.
And COVID happened, so we did the video aspect over the computer, but it's just, you know, we're recording screens at that point. We can't really do much with it. So season 2 is more of the initial idea that season 1 was supposed to be. It just worked out better.
Yeah.
But just showing those visuals and working in, you know, showcasing the sound, but also the person.
Exactly. Yeah. So like it's the podcast idea sort of came after the fact that we were like, we should have people in our basement, and it was other Ben that was like, we should do a podcast. And I was like, sure, let's do that. So okay, well we're gonna film it anyway, of course, you know, so let's just film the whole thing. And then we were like, okay, so let's do a podcast where they sing a song at the end of the podcast and at the start of the podcast as well. I think we started doing that halfway through season 1.
Yeah, we didn't have. Not everyone did a song in season 1, and some people couldn't because they weren't like would be just the singer for the band, and you know their musicians weren't able to be around. Or,
just banging the table singing.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like James Rexseedler. I don't know that he.
I was thinking about him as well.
Does he play an instrument? I don't think he plays, but he sings for the band.
Yeah,
I don't know that he plays an instrument.
Yeah, maybe guitar.
He might,
like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then season 2 came about, and you know, Ben has got some really good he's got a really good eye, you know, and he's really good at like.
Actually, I have crap eyes. I have to wear glasses.
Yeah,
for everything.
He's got 4 eyes.
Yeah. That's why I'm so good at it.
Yeah, and he's really good at filming and stuff and lighting, and I'm kind of semi-decent at audio. And
they sound really good.
Yeah, semi-decent at audio, and so yeah, with our combined knowledge of that, we decided to make it, and yeah.
I will say your degree, like your education, is in sound engineering. Like,
no, it's not.
I mean, you studied it.
Yeah, I started briefly.
I didn't study anything that I'm doing. I'm an amateur at best. I'm just doing what feels good, you know.
Yeah. But it's working out. People like it, and you know, we're getting our people know about us now. You know, we've had a few people, actually a lot of people coming on, you know, messaging us on Instagram and Facebook wanting to be on our show, you know, and we've had to turn down a fair amount of people.
That goes back to we're not really sure how many people we've had on season 2 because we just kept getting messages and messages and messages about, hey, how can I do one of these? How can I do this? Well, we really want you to do it, but we don't have the time for you this season, so stay in touch. So there are a lot of people who seem interested, which is good.
Yeah, which we will get in touch with again, you know.
If we remember. We're pretty big now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that I came across you guys is, I think I just saw a post on Instagram or something, and I saw, you know...
Working.
Yeah. And I saw, you know, that you were you were inviting people to just play live, and then there was also a podcast element to it, and that was really interesting to me because it was like we're doing kind of the same thing. Like you guys are doing it like way cooler in my opinion because you have a video element. But it's cool because there's not a lot of crossover between our shows. Like I've looked at some of your guests and like, there's a few that I've had on the show, but there's not a lot, which I think is really cool because it's like, you're exploring this whole other side to the Calgary music scene.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is like, how do you decide what bands or acts you do want to have on your show?
So initially it was we would just have anyone,
Yeah.
anyone. Like when we first started, anyone we could possibly find,
Yeah.
But
I think the first 10 episodes of this show were all my friends. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this one. I was like, wow.
So it was just like anyone and anything would have on our show.
We could
really.
afford to do it at that point, too, because we were in lockdown. We couldn't go out and do anything. So if we had 4 episodes to record in a day on the computer, we could. We had nothing else to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Aye, we were sitting on our Todd
Yeah.
watching Tiger King.
Yeah.
Or something, So
If there was Tiger King to be watched, no episodes.
that's our day film.
Yeah.
But yeah, the more busy we got, the more sort of don't want to say selective, but the more we were like, we can't really fit you in at the moment, because we are busy. And then when season 2 came around, as Ben said, we asked people that we got on with really well back, and then we had a lot of new people on as well.
I will also say we were kind of selfish in the selection for season 2 in that we're trying to grow our social media following. So if you had a certain number of Instagram followers, we're like, yes, please come and do an episode.
Yeah, and anything more than 100,000.
Yeah, seriously, we were like, oh, we'll have you on, and everyone was really great. Like, I'm not saying that we had people on who were garbage just because they had a lot of Instagram followers, but that was certainly something we looked at. If you had a good social media following, just so we could grow our platform and help showcase you better. So
yeah, of course.
we were selective, and we also found that we had in season 1 we had a lot of male artists, and in season 2 we ended up having primarily female artists.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
wasn't by design; it just happened that way.
Yeah, no, it really did. Yeah, no, but Ben's completely right. We were a bit selfish with that aspect because we were trying to grow our social media and that sort of thing, and like we had a lot of country artists on as well.
Yeah, which is just, I think it's
because
it's Calgary.
Yeah.
Hard to avoid that, which is fine. I'm not a huge country fan myself, as you know.
Yeah.
But I liked everyone that we've had on.
No.
There are select country artists that I'll listen to, but for the most part, no.
Yeah, because I've before I came over here, there was no country like at all back home. It isn't a thing.
Yeah.
And then coming from literally 0 to 100 is eye opening, and it's a culture shock for sure. So it was a very much an educational point for me, just speaking to all these country artists, and they were talking about Brett Kissel and people like that, and I'm like,
George Canyon, Paul Brandt.
Who the hell are these people? I need to do my research.
Yeah, I mean, all those names that you just named, I'm also right over my head.
So we just season 2, we invited people back that we were pals with, and some extra people that we wanted to have on, that were really quite popular in the Calgary music scene,
And in Canadian music, we had from Saskatoon, Shayla.
Yeah,
She drove down from Saskatoon to do the episode.
crazy.
And then we had a couple people from Edmonton.
Yes,
the episode.
and Red Deer.
Yeah,
1002 was from
but
Red Deer.
Drove from Saskatoon. She messaged us, was like, I'd love to do this. We're like, really?
Yeah.
You're in Saskatoon.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, she came down. Her and her dad drove down,
Yeah.
stayed in a hotel.
The night before.
Crazy.
Really?
The night before, stayed in a hotel, and then her and
Aaron Pollock.
Aaron Pollock came over. And yeah, it's great. And then she just left. Like
That day, they drove back to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Wow.
Like, super grateful that you wanted to come down and do it, but crazy.
She gave us merch. And
Yeah,
like,
we got t-shirts. Shelby stole my t-shirt.
yeah, she gave us t-shirts, like stickers and
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah, it was awesome. It was really, really fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, we tried to make every artist feel special.
Yeah.
You know, we have like Rosso Coffee sponsorship and stuff, so we offer coffee and tea and that sort of thing, and
We have 3 sponsors.
we have 3 sponsors. Yes, Rosso Coffee
Yes.
Roasters, School of Rock, Calgary South, and then Cornerstone Music Cafe.
Yeah.
2 of those companies.
All new this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of those
Wow.
companies I work for, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we try to make each artist feel as special as possible and as welcoming as possible, you know. So I think we do.
Because it is a little weird saying, come and hang out in our basement.
Yeah,
come
yeah.
through the back door.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't come through the front. We do the same thing. When Ben was like, he said, message us when you get there, I'll let you in the back. I'm like, oh, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
We'll bring you in the back way.
Yeah. No, I know those feels like, yeah, come into my basement and,
Yeah.
let's sit around and chat.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound creepy at all. Like,
Yeah, but we put like you made like a really nice sort of, not like a shrine, but like a nice sort of image on the TV when they walk down of like their picture and stuff, and
Yeah.
and provide coffee.
It's
and
only a basement,
water.
so we tried to make it as studio-esque as we could.
yeah.
As close as it could be, I think. And I think we did an okay job.
I think we did it
For acoustic performance, I think it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, you guys have an awesome setup down there, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I would agree, and it's cool. Because I try to do the same thing. I try to make the artist feel as comfortable as they can. Doing an interview, like I feel like so many people want to talk to musicians and stuff like that, but they don't really want to like get to know the musician. They just want to get to know what they're doing. You know, it's content. They're just trying to produce content. Whereas like, I really like the whole reason I do this, the reason I talk to people is I want to get to know the person.
Right.
And I think that you guys do that very well as well.
Man, like we had Aaron Pollock, and he's been on twice. One with Shayla, and then one himself. And
He was only accompanying Shayla, so he was meant to be on his own to do an interview and all that, and he came and supported on guitar for her to sing.
yeah. But we released his podcast on Monday, and then his cover and his original song this week as well. And his podcast, he opened up to us a lot. He talked about his addiction and how he doesn't drink anymore, and he had, he's on antidepressants and stuff. And it was an eye-opening interview we had with him, and I think it was a fantastic interview. It was really good, and we really appreciated him opening up to us and sharing that with people that want to listen to it, you know, and I thought it was a really nice one to do,
Yeah, no, for sure. And I like things like that. I like are why podcasting is awesome, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You get people to open up about their life experiences and stuff like that, and because it is like long form, they have the time to do it. It doesn't feel like, I just have to answer this question. Next question, let's go.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely, yeah. Well, he spoke about points, that haven't really been spoken about before. Well, maybe they have, but I'm not aware of it. But alcoholism in the music scene, like artists are always playing in bars. Like that's 90% of where artists play, or venues, and just free drinks from people, and it's easy to slip into that, sort of side of things. And you always hear of musicians dying of drug overdoses and stuff like that, so it's a tough topic, and it's a true topic, and it's something that people need to start speaking about, for sure.
Yeah. I think that like shows like yours also kind of demystify the musician a little bit. A lot of people, at least this is how I felt when I first started doing the podcast, or musicians are these kind of like otherworldly figures. They're like way cooler than all of us. They're like, they don't have any problems. They're living the best life or whatever. But once you really start like kind of talking to me, like, you realize that everybody's just a person. Everybody has problems. Everybody has anxieties and stresses and stuff like that. And I feel like shows like yours kind of take the musicians and they make them more relatable,
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of I think kind of the hope that we had when starting to do these interviews is trying to find out more about them as people rather than, like we started off, what's your process? What are you inspired by? And then it became more natural and more conversational, and they really put their own spin on the conversation, which led us down really cool avenues.
Yeah.
No, it was really when Mitch was and Justine were talking about their engagement, how long they've been together and stuff like that. We shot their van that they bought, their tour van, and just things that people.
We heard about the cat pee pillow.
Yeah,
it was great.
The cat pee pillow, yeah, Christ, and where they keep all their gear in the van and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool, and it was just a wee sort of personal touch, that we thought was quite nice to add in there,
No, for sure. Have you? I guess. From doing the podcast, have any of those kind of like skills bled into your everyday life, or do you find like you're better at talking to people just because you now do talk to people so often, or?
For me, yeah, definitely. Before I did this, I'd never done any podcasts before, and it was a shock for me for sure, and I wasn't really a talkative person. I'm more of a listener, to be honest.
No.
And but yeah, for sure, it's really helped me a lot with with being just a bit more confident. Because I teach drums, and like just speaking to parents and speaking with confidence and like, and just like and sort of teaching as well, like just explaining things a wee bit more clearly. Just as I said, a wee bit more confidence as well. It's helped me in that aspect, and just being just a better hang, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I talk for a living, so I don't have any issues speaking up. But I've definitely learned a lot about music. I'm not a musician at all, aside from beating a fill. So I've learned a lot about music, and even like music editing, watching Ben do whatever he's doing, or how they set up, or how a certain artist plays. So that's been really eye-opening as well, because that's not a world that I've been involved in really.
Yeah. And I've learned a lot about the Canadian music scene as well, especially in Calgary. I've learned a lot about about OCL and the National Music Centre and like Alberta Music and is it the Canadian Incubator program?
Canadian Music Incubator.
Yeah, Music Incubator program.
That's your National Music Centre.
Yeah. And in Toronto as well.
Yes.
Just things that artists have been involved in, and they've been there and they've witnessed it and stuff, and the BAM Centre as well. Just like things like that I would have known like in the future, but eventually, yeah. But speaking to these artists, I've actually done this stuff and I've done these programs and I've played these shows, whatever like that, and it's eye opening and it's very educational.
What I also found interesting was we've obviously not talked to 40 people because some of them are repeat, but we've talked to a good portion of artists, up and coming artists or pretty established artists, and a lot of those things repeat. So you hear that all of these people have done the Canada's Music Incubator program, or they've done recording through OCL or whatever it is. So the community, while it seems really big, is super small.
Yeah.
Like you said, Toronto has a portion of this program, so that community, I imagine, ties in pretty well here as well. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No, you're right. Yeah. But they've all mentioned the same person. They've all mentioned the Bowie.
Yeah. he's a big name.
He is a big name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the themes that keep coming up. Verns and Rocking for Dollars and stuff like that, and it's just like
Mikey's.
how many exactly. It's like these venues that are iconic to the musicians in our city and stuff, and it's like I just did an interview with Dave from the Night Terrors, and he was like, Verns is such an iconic venue. It's like they will give everybody. He said that's where bands go to. That's where they start and that's where they die. He's like, I wanted to play my first show at Verns, and we're gonna play our last show there too.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I've played Verns once. It was an interesting experience. It's very interesting for sure. I don't know. I don't know if I'd play there again for sure.
I went. So their band was playing our other roommate Rebecca and I were at another show. We went to see another show that night, and we got out of our show at about 9. And you were supposed to play at 10 or 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we were like, should we go over there? Should we not? Like, let's just go and see. So we got there, and I think we were there for 5 minutes, and I was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
I can't stay here. Yeah.
I can't stay in this place. Yeah, but yeah, we went. I meant to be on at 10. We ended up being on at like 1.
Yeah.
And then played like a 45-minute set, which is the worst 45-minute set we've ever played. Like, our bass player was wasted.
No, it's the place. Like I said, if you have a band and you just want to get on stage, contact Burns.
They've got one.
They got a stage. Yeah, they'll probably put you on.
Yeah.
So. I think I've only been I went to one show at Burns, I think, and it's just because a buddy of mine was playing and packed for the one band, and then as soon as they got off the stage, everybody left.
Yeah.
Man,
That's the rough part with like multiple bands throughout the night. Like, I understand that in a setting where there's hundreds of people to watch, but if you have 5 bands and 50% are there to see the first one, these other bands are suffering for sure.
Yeah.
So bad system.
I mean, I was quite surprised how big the venue was.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
2 rooms too, like 2 big sections. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, you know. So for sure, if like pre-COVID, if that place was packed, that would be a bad-ass show.
Yeah.
You know, I really think so. But yeah, we were there and there was one punter and like, and then the sound engineer
At 1
/
o'clock.
barman at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah. Sound engineer / barman / door guy /
Doing them all.
Whatever it is,
yeah, Clint does everything. Awesome. So just a question for you, I guess, because you said you weren't really familiar, I guess, with the Calgary music scene that much before doing this podcast. So I guess what has that been like, getting into the music scene a little bit more, and kind of I would just like to know your opinions on it, I guess.
I come from the theater community, so I'm familiar with how the arts community interacts, but I've always been either in the theater side, live theater, or variety acts. So just getting to know the musicians better, know their opinions on how things operate within the arts in Calgary and Canada has been really interesting, and just meeting new people, making new friends in different areas is really interesting as well. So I've not had a
friend.
Yeah. we've met a couple of people who I think we still stay in contact with and are meant to hang out with. I'm really bad for that, so if they're listening to this and we said we're going to hang out, you contact me, because I'm not going to contact you. I'm bad at it.
We need to hang out with Mitch.
Yeah, that was from season 1, but other people. So I've come from the arts community, but just kind of diving into this different section of it, I guess, has been really interesting. And they're very accepting of my lack of knowledge, so that's nice. Thank you for being patient. But yeah, no complaints.
But like Jenny Harlock's, when Jenny Harlock came over with her mom,
about that variety show they run.
Yeah, so they run like a variety show in Calgary. I can't remember where it is.
The Lamplighter? No.
Yeah.
No, that's from Mrs. Maisel.
It's
something like that. Gaslight or something like that.
That's in Vancouver.
Gastown.
Oh, Gastown. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Dummy.
I'm all over the place. But yeah, they run like an event, a show every year. And
Country Night Live.
Country Night Live,
is the name of the show.
Yeah, and they were like interested in booking Ben for their show.
Doing some magic.
Doing some magic, So there is context there.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh yeah. Within arts, there's no bad contact. You can't not know enough people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been really great, meeting these people. So if you're ever gonna put on a show, cabaret show, you have all of these people you can pull from. So there's no downside to meeting people outside of your small set of art.
Yeah, well, because like inevitably the arts community needs multiple different artists and mediums of art to succeed, right? You know, you can't have music without visual art or something like that, or you can't have music without videography or whatever and stuff like that. So we're kind of all interconnected here.
The other thing too is right now, especially, my art form isn't really happening in front of people. People can't go and see a magic show or a variety show. So music was kind of the only thing that was happening. So it was giving me something to do also. So, you know, filming and being creative that way was just an outlet for me while I couldn't do what I really want to do, you know? So that's good too.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess what, just in your kind of like everyday lives, what kind of music are you guys generally listening to?
Good question.
At the moment, I'm listening to. Well, it's 'cause I'm a drummer, so I'm practicing at the moment. For this year, anyway, I'm practicing a lot of like jazz. So I'm listening to a lot of jazz records. You know, like Max Roach, Miles Davis, that sort of thing. You know, I'm just trying to hone in like my jazz playing, because I've never played jazz before, really. You know, so that was my goal for this year, is to learn like a different style. So I'm learning a lot of jazz standards and stuff, and but recently, so I don't know if I should maybe say this, but I've joined the band Shuffalo.
Okay, no, they've been on the show before.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh okay, yeah. So I've joined. I recently started playing with these guys. You know, so you know, they're sort of like pop, like indie sort of, you know, music. So I've been listening to a lot of 1975 Japanese house, churches, prides, that sort of thing, like electronic pop sort of stuff as well, you know. So it's a kind of a scrumash of stuff, you know, not really one sort of genre. Yeah.
I'll listen to pretty much anything as long as I enjoy the beat.
Yeah.
I really like, this is silly, but I really like funk music.
Funk music is
Yeah.
amazing.
Five Alarm Funk.
I love Five Alarm
Yeah.
Funk. Probably they're one of my favorites. Canadian.
Yeah.
Gotta support the Canadian.
Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver. But I'll listen to pretty much anything. If it's not like something upbeat and funk, it'll be like classic rock or something like that.
Yeah.
Oldies. Yeah.
The Boss.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Springsteen. I
I
played
love
Bruce
it.
Springsteen last night on the old pedal pub.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't beat
Santa
it.
Claus is coming to town.
You cannot beat a good boss.
Yeah.
I've seen him 3 times. Oh no,
Really?
sorry, twice.
Just walking down the street.
yeah,
There he is.
there's the boss.
One.
There's the boss.
Twice was in the same day, but I still counted as two-sided.
I know, yeah. We're best pals. But yeah.
It's actually kind of awesome that you mentioned funk. I feel like there's like this funk revival that's happening right now. Like funk
man.
is like becoming kind of like more mainstream, and like a lot of people are like going towards like kind of that funky sound. And yeah, I'm such a huge fan of funk.
I have it's been probably my favorite band for the last 5 or 6 years. If you ask me my favorite band, I say Five Alarm Funk. They are awesome. Their recorded music is awesome. Their live shows are like none other. They're awesome.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will.
Do you like it old time like James Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like funk, but right, like my favorite band, like because they're obviously releasing new stuff. James Brown isn't.
Yeah.
Strangely, what are you doing?
God, so lazy.
So like they're releasing new stuff, and it's always just like top of the line funk. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Aye. I did a Five Alarm Funk.
You did a cover, yeah.
Yeah.
I introduced you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. No, it's good.
I feel pretty good
What
about
what song was it? It was the song that you
Power
played.
Funk.
Yeah, Power of
it. It's
Funk.
my intro song.
Yeah, it's your intro
When I do my live show,
Aye.
that's my entrance song. Power Funk.
Digga 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 digga
Bow.
down.
That's perfect. Yeah,
a tune.
I love it.
Yeah. Calgary band that you should check out. They don't have a lot of recorded music, but Sweet Berry Wine.
Ah, Cambui.
We know Sweet Berry Wine.
Yeah.
We interviewed
Cam.
Kate Stevens, who
yep.
plays with Cambui.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about
Yeah,
Sweet Berry Wine.
we interviewed Kate Stevens. I know Cam really well.
Yeah.
We know Cam.
Yeah.
I know Barry. I know Carson.
Oh,
Do you know
nice.
Wine?
I don't know why. No. I was actually meant to meet Carson tomorrow, but yeah, he cancelled. So.
He has a baby.
A kid and a wife, so we'll reschedule.
Yeah, those dudes are awesome.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
And I also just talked to Kate Stevens on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
So that's
On the podcast?
Yeah, on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How's she?
She's doing good, it
Oh,
seems.
great. Did she ask about us?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. Funny. I hope she hears this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate, if you hear this, send us a message.
Yeah, say hello. We haven't
hello.
heard from you. She was the first one of season 2.
She was.
So we haven't heard from her for a long time.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you guys are you guys are kind of trying to keep it mostly acoustic acts, or do you ever foresee maybe doing bands in the future? Or
I think we're going to do bands.
Yeah, we wanted bands. We wanted, in the first season, we had, both of us really love a horn section.
We do.
And we wanted to have I'm the Mountain in, and they're, 5 people?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
6?
6, 7, 8, 10, whatever.
Whatever it is.
Massive band.
massive, yeah.
Very 5-alarm funk. But we wanted to have them in, and we were planning on doing the full setup. Obviously, couldn't do that, so
Yeah.
it was all, they did it from their home studio, which
Yeah.
was awesome.
It was fantastic.
But-
I'll tell you what, though. Shelby and I saw them live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Lucky.
Awesome.
they're one of my favorite bands to
Yeah.
see live for
Fantastic.
sure.
So fantastic. So super tight. You can tell they live together. And
Yeah.
That's an unfair advantage. Stop practicing.
I know, yeah. God, give the rest of us a
Yeah,
chance.
God. Just take one day off, you know?
Yeah, I think I've seen them like half a dozen times now, like
Yeah.
at various different venues, and it's cool. They're playing the same songs, but it's different every single time. You know, it's got a different vibe, it's got a different feel because of their musicianship and the way that they can like just kind of manipulate their songs and play off of each other. It's just like such a joy to watch.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah. And the keyboardist / trumpet player had like a cool story. He was like in the he was in the army. wasn't
Yeah, he was the trumpeter for the Army or Navy.
Yeah.
Something like that. He played, he was, and he was still like on call or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that?
was still like contracted for the army. I think
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I got it right or not.
Yeah,
But yeah, he was
you can hear about it on that podcast.
Yeah, it's all on the
episode,
podcast,
But, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, and then we found out they all live together,
Yeah.
and awesome, super cool band. Love them a lot. The bass player is nuts.
Oh.
Yeah, we saw him live.
He's insane, yeah.
Crazy,
He's
man.
insane, yeah.
Yeah, I love his.
Insightful as well.
Yeah,
He's a nice
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked
They were
to-
all super nice guys.
Yeah,
I
I love his
talked
style.
to
Colton.
Colton, Jesus. Colton and I forget the bass player's name, but I had them on the podcast, and it's just a joy to talk to because they're like so down to earth and they're like very insightful.
Super cool guys.
And then they're amazing musicians as
Super
well.
nice too. Like
Yeah.
he asked a question, I'm like, you know what? Thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
For asking
Yeah.
that question. I'm like, no problem.
Thank you for thanking us.
Me for asking.
No,
Thank you
thank
for
you for
thanking me
thanking-
for thanking us
Yes,
for thanking you. Yeah,
God almighty.
super nice.
Yeah.
So many thanks.
Yeah.
But no, they were awesome, and we want to have them back for sure. Yeah.
I want to just hear more horn section.
Yeah.
Good
I
horn.
love a horn section.
Gotta love a good horn.
They have a solid horn section
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
One. That's all you need. You need one solid horn. You got yourself a horn
You
section.
got yourself a band.
Yeah. The guy who plays trombone is also like,
Yeah.
he's pretty solid. Yeah.
Trombone's a badass instrument,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Ah.
Apparently it's really hard to play. Same with trumpet. Apparently it's a super hard instrument to learn.
Yeah.
Because there's no like set notes.
Yeah,
like, you
it's
just
all
gotta
like,
hear it.
Yeah, it's all like sort of muscle memory,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
I'd be good at that.
Yeah.
I'd rock the trombone.
Like anybody who can play any type of horn definitely has my respect.
Definitely.
Like saxophone, trombone, trumpet, whatever it is. Like you got my respect for sure.
When I first met Shelby, we were working for a company in Lethbridge called New West, and we worked with our music director's name was Paul Walker. You could hand him any horn, he could play it. He has a collection of wicked, weird, strange horns, and
Love
he
it.
can just play away.
That's awesome.
And the flute.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's super. I love finding people, meeting people like that can just play anything. You know, they can play multiple instruments. You know, I know so many people back home that can do that, and it's just like, oh my god, like it's nuts, and play them well. Like not like mediocre. Like play them well, and that's
Yeah.
like, takes so. That must that must take up your whole life, you know, just constantly. You must do nothing.
Practice.
Yeah, but practice, you know.
Nerds.
It was my goal this year to actually pick up, like, learn bass, but I literally have no time.
Oh, I was going to say, if it's your goal to pick it up.
Yeah, I can
I'm
pick it
gonna
up.
comment
I know,
you
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, you could pick it up if you wanted.
The Squire looks pretty
It
expensive.
has
I don't
4
want to touch it.
strings, but I've only ever seen a bass player pick 2 of them. So it's got to be easy to
What
do,
kind of bass
right?
players are you watching? God.
Your band.
Gunk, gunk,
Yeah.
gunk, gunk. You're in.
They're very good.
I feel like that's like any starting out band, you know, new band. It's like the bass player kind of wanted to play guitar, but they ended up on bass.
We
They don't
have
really
a guitar
know.
player already. Oh, guess I'm bass.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing root notes for my
Yeah.
life, dude.
So I guess, is there anything that you guys are really looking forward to in season 3?
We've had conversations about things that we'd like to do. Whether or not those things will pan out, we'll see. But I don't want to say what they are in case they don't. But I'm excited about trying to do the one thing that we'd like to do.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
looking forward to it.
That'll
I'm
be
hoping to
interesting.
find someone else to edit these things. So if you have computer editing or video editing skills, please give me a call.
We can't pay you.
Yeah,
but,
but I'd gladly not do it.
Yeah. He's doing like
you
3
would.
videos a week.
Yeah.
Every week.
rough.
It's pretty rough. Yeah.
No.
You know what you should have done? You should have done. Well, I've done all the audio. You know, right? Like
The
do it
video's
sim-
harder. Like the audio, takes you 20 minutes, half an hour.
The audio editing's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Thanks. The video, I've got to line it all up. I've got to watch through it, cut it all up.
Yeah.
I have to add the little logos, the end, the beginning. I've got to render it out.
Yeah.
It's 2 to 3 hours per artist.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally like. I mean, for an audio edit on the show, it's basically however long the recording of the show was. There's
Right.
not much of an edit I do on these things, because I try to keep it just as free flow as
Yeah.
possible. It's mostly
Yeah.
just like, hey, is there like a weird silence, or did somebody like bumble on that? You can make it smoother or whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't even imagine video editing. I mean, I have video components to the podcast. Just so that I can have them on YouTube, but it's all just Windows Movie Maker slideshows.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
can't even imagine actually editing moving pictures.
Yeah.
My favorite episodes to edit are the ones where one of our cameras has failed, so I only have one shot to go with. I'm like, well, that's it.
That's it. That's all
Line
we're
up
doing.
the audio
Yeah,
and
yeah.
render it out.
when I did most of the editing for season 1, and it was sort of listed exactly the same. It's just 2 shots, you know, and it was super
Back
easy.
and forth.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
and forth. Yeah, but now it's a few different shots
Yeah.
only. Yeah.
It's all 2 cameras, but I was moving around, so we had a stationary camera that kind of catching it all just in case, and then I moved around with a gimbal. So kind of finding what looks good on those, and then obviously the podcast, like you said, we're just jeez. Sorry. Going through the whole thing, however long it is, and then cutting out, you know, if they're talking, we can't see us. If we're talking, we can't see them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're getting pretty good with DaVinci though, eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not bad at it. I'm just takes forever.
You're just sick of
I'm
it.
bored of it.
Aye, yeah, I know, I understand. Well, yeah, it's three videos a week, and it's
Yeah,
a lot of work,
it's
you know.
rough.
It takes so maybe season 3 we'll do slightly.
Looking
less.
forward to the one idea. I think I brought it up, so I don't know that he's very excited about it, but I think it will be fun.
I think we just skip season 3, go straight to
Yeah.
season 4.
Season 4. You only get to pitch one idea per season.
Exactly. So did you guys have all the equipment before you started the whole project, or is it something that you just kind of acquired over time?
Well, for season 1, you got a new computer.
Yeah,
Just
just
before that.
before COVID hit, I needed a new computer. My laptop that I was going to take on my tour in the summer was filling up, so I was like, I'll get a desktop, and I'll store all of like the things I don't need to take with me on the road on this desktop. So I bought a desktop, an iMac, and then
Fancy.
COVID happened, and I had no use for it. So we used that
As a table?
As
Yeah.
we just stacked things on it.
No, we used the computer as a table.
As a table.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't need it.
We didn't need that. I had all the microphones, all the cables mostly. You had mics and cables.
Yeah.
I had a Focusrite 2-channel interface that we used for season 1.
Yeah. So on season 1 we shared a microphone.
Yeah.
And then we used the second output for their audio, for the artist's audio. But then season 2, we just went to Long McQuaid and went to town, man. Like, we got like an 8
We rented an interface. That was it.
No, we rented an interface, a really nice interface.
Yeah. Focusrite.
Yeah. And we got some lights, some wireless lights and stuff. So what we did with the lights was, Shelby and I, before we moved into our place that we're living in just now, we made our own sort of clothes rack just out of pipe, and then we made like a sort of wood base and stuff, and it has like wheels on it and that. And it looks really cool. And so we used that to prop the lights up, so the lights would just be a wee bit higher. And then, yeah, we got some.
What's funny about that is you need to know Shelby has a million coats, and while we were shooting, her coats would just lie on the floor or on the bed while our 2 lights were stuck up on this thing made for her coats. It was.
I know.
Pretty funny.
She wants more coats. I don't. How
There's
is
no
that
room
possible?
for coats. Well, if she gets more coats, we'll have another rack.
Yeah.
Which is good for us.
Yeah.
Well,
More
actually,
lighting racks.
hopefully, we won't be in the house for season 3.
Hint.
Yeah, we don't need that rack. Yeah,
No, we're going to be in the house for season 3.
yeah maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll
We'll
discuss
see.
it. We'll
Yeah.
discuss that.
Talk about it later.
It's like I can definitely empathize with that, because I mean the first, I think, 10 or so episodes, I had one microphone, and I duct taped it to a like old speaker
Nice.
stand,
Love it.
and we would all just crowd around that
We'll
one
lean
microphone
in when it was your turn to answer a question or talk.
It'd be like I would have like a full 4-piece band plus me, and we'd all be crowded around this one microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like, but like, bet you got some decent audio. Of it,
Oh yeah, Like
it's-
it was 100% listenable.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
That's all that
Exactly,
matters.
Yeah. It is all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you've upgraded. You've got 3 mics.
I got 3 mics. Oof.
Check you, man.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah.
Hardcore.
Very
Microphone
profesh.
It is we're very impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 microphones.
Yeah.
And you've got these like clamp things. These are cool.
Yeah, we don't have that. I have to hold
Yeah.
mine when we do the interviews,
Yeah.
which I won't be doing from now on that
Yeah.
I know this is a thing.
I'll just take
We
that.
had 7 stands we could have used, I guess.
You've got like
Yeah.
massive like boom stands and stuff. Like
Come in from the side. It
That'd
could have
be
looked
weird.
okay.
Yeah, that's the thing about doing purely audio. It doesn't matter how it looks.
Yeah. True enough.
yeah. But hey, $10 at Long McQuaid, you can get yourself one.
One of these?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's like $10.
That seems more like a
$10.
$30 job.
I know, eh?
Wow.
Jeez.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Now
Yeah.
that I know.
You also got lights as well. You got those ring lights.
Yeah, I had some photography lights
Yeah.
that I got from a friend, and then I bought 2 ring lights for
your makeup
like-
tutorials. That you do on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I do makeup tutorials. I wish those things get so many views. I wish I could do makeup tutorials.
And how to groom your mustache.
Yeah.
tutorial.
Well, I needed to learn. The mustache is a COVID. I acquired it through the
to the grapevine.
isolation. It's my dad's. He wasn't using it
Just
anymore.
borrowed it. Yeah. That was your mum's.
Yeah, tell her you said that. But yeah, I had some ring lights. We had between the 2 of us or 4 of us in the house, we had the equipment we needed to do, because we're all entertainers. Like, we all had these things just so we could go to work. So we had 5 or 6 mics lying around, and we had 55 cables lying around, and we all had computers, and we all had what we needed to make it work. So for season 2, just to get that slight upgrade with lights rented and give us some color, better interface for more inputs.
Yeah. And then the actual set as well. You got like
We
canvases.
made that. Rebecca and these 2 went on a road trip to Vancouver. Shelby and Ben went to Vancouver, and while they were gone, Rebecca and I painted the canvas. If you've seen the videos, you've seen like those canvases in the background. I bought those, painted them up ourselves, hung them up. I got a coat rack that's now upstairs that scares everyone because they think it's a person standing up
Yeah,
there.
I think it's someone breaking in our house.
And to hang one of Shelby's coats and a hat on, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. So
One
we
of 1,000.
set up a little set back there, but that was relatively cheap, maybe $15
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing crazy,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, like no, it was funny because when we came back from Vancouver, the night before, I was like the day before. Was it
Yeah, the next day we had a recording.
Yeah,
when you got back.
we had Kate Stevens, and I
Yeah.
was like panicking on the way back. And I was like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" So when we got back, well, you texted us on the way back saying, you know, I've got a surprise for you. So as soon as we walked downstairs, we saw that, and I was like, "Sweet, that was badass." Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank God. Christ, been an absolute shit show if
Yeah.
we didn't do that.
Yeah, I know that's awesome. And I mean, it's cool that we live in this time where all this technology is accessible, right? Like, it's never been, like back in the 70s, would you just have microphones and interfaces? Well, interfaces didn't even exist back
Yeah,
then. But
exactly.
like, would you just have all this technology laying around that would allow you to do like a show like this? And I don't think you would. So it's cool that the internet and the progression of technology has allowed us
Yeah.
to kind of fill this space and just provide entertainment for people in a different way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, as you said, you can get this long paid for $10. You can get a microphone for $30.
Yeah.
And it does a decent job. You can, and plus Long and McQuaid as well. Fantastic. 0% finance. You can get anything you want.
Yeah.
And pay that off over the year, which is
Or
fantastic.
rent it for $2.
Yeah, exactly. Rent it for $2 for 2 years.
What are we? We
Yeah.
rented an interface, the brand new, like the newest Focusrite interface for 2 months
Yeah.
for $70 or something like that.
It's something silly like
Yeah.
that. Like nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, fantastic. I don't know how they make money. They must do a really good job at it, but it's
They're involved in the mob
Oh.
or something. They have to be.
the Canadian mob.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, eh?
Sorry, eh? Wow. Gosh, I didn't mean that. Didn't mean to frighten you there. Go ahead, take it. It's fine.
Just go ahead. I'm just going to go ice fishing.
Yeah.
An Irish accent, Christ.
Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
The same thing, aye.
Sorry.
But yeah, so we just went to Long McQuaid, and yeah, fantastic place. We love the people in there, and we live 2 minutes away from along McQuaid, so yeah, it's good, but it's bad.
Ben goes there every day.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm gonna step out to Long McQuade.
yeah, I'm just gonna go there just
Okay.
to chat with my pals.
Yeah.
yeah.
Stares at drum kits.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Drum kits I can't afford.
Yeah.
Touch it.
No, just rent them.
Just rent them for $2
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy got a baritone saxophone that way. We just rented it, and then he was like, "I guess I own this now," because he just kept paying for it.
Yeah. They'll do that.
Yeah. I've got I don't own drum hardware or like cases or anything like that. I just rent drum hardware pack for a month. It's $20 and has everything I need.
Yeah.
I'm like, why own anything? Because you can just rent it and don't need to store it for forever.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
Plus, you can always get the better thing. Like, if
Exactly.
there's something new that comes out, you're not like,
I know
I've
exactly.
got the crappy. I'd like to rent an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'd rent my iPhone,
That'd
and then
be
the
awesome.
next time a new one comes out, I'd rent the new one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That should be a thing.
Well, technically, you are like renting a phone contract. You're kind of renting.
You are, but you have to pay it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
can't
still
give
end
it
up
back.
paying for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You can't give it back and then give you your money.
There's in Long McQuaid. There's I saw this sort of symbol setup thing. It's like a wee sort of splash sort of hybrid stack thing in Long McQuaid. It's tiny.
That all makes sense to us.
Yeah,
sure.
6 inches. It's like this. It's like small symbols, but they're all stacked up on top of each other to make this specific sound, right?
What sound? Can you do it?
For that,
Yeah.
$800.
What? Why?
That size, 6 inches. $800.
Just do that with your mouth.
Unbelievable.
Holy
like
crap.
silly. Yeah.
What's it made of?
Metal.
Brat? Like
Gold?
I'm not. I gold.
It better be for
Gold.
$800.
Honestly, nuts. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you probably rent that for like $1 a day.
Probably.
Yeah. Sweet.
And get the $4 theft protection, and it goes missing.
Yeah.
And they do nothing. They're just like Costco. Long and McQuaid is the Costco of the music stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolute bargain.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess I have a question for you. So I guess not being super exposed to country music before you came to Calgary and then getting like super exposed to it, I just want to know what your general opinion on country music is.
Oh man, so when I first came here, I was like, country music, I don't get it. Like it's foreign language to me. I'm like, I don't understand it. Whatever. And then
Strangely, that's what everyone was saying about him as well.
exactly, yeah, weird. Like a Scottish guy.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get his lingo. Whatever. But yeah, so we started speaking to a lot more country artists, and I started doing a wee bit more research, and I actually play like for a country, a country band now, So Alan Christie, actually playing a show this month, and
Where?
Up north somewhere near Red Deer. You know what, man? Like, I really do like it now. It's good fun. Well, the music that I'm playing with Alan, it's all like shuffles. And it's so fun to play. I love it. We played a bluegrass festival, a bluegrass festival.
Whatever. It's a hybrid.
Two months ago. That was super interesting. And as a drummer, I think traditionally drummers aren't allowed at bluegrass festivals, so yeah. Got booed off stage, but whatever, it's fine. Like tomatoes thrown at me, and I was wearing a kilt. I was just flashing everyone. I don't know why they don't like me. But you know what, man? It's really cool. The country music scene out here is pretty badass. I don't get pop country though. That to me is weird. If you go country, just go full on country.
That's the thing. I'll listen to like a Dolly Parton or a Johnny Cash because like it's good music, but then there's crap like I mean. No, you're right, because like listening to Dolly Parton and Johnny Cash, it's about the lyrics. Yeah. It really is about and it's the music is to touch the soul, and it's sad, and it's about the lyrics, and it's like I think it's the only sort of music out there where it is really about the lyrics. Even like a Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
I listen to Willie Nelson.
Aye, wee Willie. And,
Charlie Pride. There's a lot of country to listen to. It's just got to be good.
Chaz.
I don't want to listen to Taylor Swift.
She's not country anymore, though.
Well, I know, but she was, and it wasn't at the same time.
It's like the epitome of pop country.
Yeah, like it's just not my thing.
Yeah, and the culture as well. Like bull riding and that, and like horse riding and lassoing and stuff. It's just like the movies. It's great. It's like John Wayne Western.
You say things funny.
it's
Bill.
Aye, I like
Bill riding.
Aye, my dad was gonna come over, but of course COVID and that. But he's like, when I arrive over here, I want to ride a bull. I want the bull to be called Fu Manchu. I was like, why do you want to ride a bull? He's like, because I'm in Calgary. It's country. It's
You're
country.
not wrong.
Aye. and the stampede. I missed the stampede as well. God. So that was a disaster. And I was looking forward to that, man.
First time in over 100 years.
Yeah, I'm bad juju.
Cancelled. Yeah, that's your fault.
I know.
I'm gonna go ahead and blame you for that.
I blame myself.
Good.
Calgary blames me for it.
They do.
But yeah, no, really cool. I was looking forward to the stampede, but it's not happening. So maybe next year I'll get to ride a bull.
Awesome. Cool. I feel like we could probably chat for like 4 more hours, but we should probably wrap this up. So are there any just kind of like final things you guys want to throw out there? Or?
Follow Calgary Basement Sessions on. We're not on TikTok. You're on TikTok.
Yeah, you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok.
No. I ask everyone now.
You're on TikTok.
Yeah. YYC Basement Sessions on pretty much everything.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and the old YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Follow us on YouTube. That's our main platform.
Yeah.
We wanna get people on YouTube.
We're also on Apple Music and
for
Spotify,
podcasts.
and for the actual audio podcasts. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook as at Ben Monty Music. I think that is. Yeah, Ben Monty Music. And
That is correct.
That is correct. Yeah.
I look at it every time I look at the video. I'm on all the social medias as well at Ben Price Magic on everything.
Mm-hmm. And you're on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok, so follow me on TikTok.
I'm on TikTok.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, this was awesome, guys, and thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you so
sure.
much.
And you have made me wish that I had another Cody. So I
Aw.
think if there's any other Codys out there who like are kind of into
Wanna do
podcasts,
this.
yeah, like hit me up. And yeah, I'll have all the information of, where people can find you and your social media and stuff. It'll all be in the episode notes for people to listen to.
Wicked.
So yeah, just again, thanks guys.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Thank you.
If you like this episode of Groove Talk, why not leave a review? You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Help us break through those evil algorithms and reach the most amount of glorious listeners that we possibly can. For up-to-date information on the show, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can find us at Froggy Style Productions. For more ways to support the show, visit fsproductions.ca.